Hey guys, it is March 16th and we wanted to do a tomato tester video really bad to kind of talk about. This year what we did is we ended up sharing, so far we've shared out 14 packs of seeds and we probably are going to be sharing out a few more. But as far as the tomatoes are concerned and stuff like that, hopefully with the notes and stuff we've kind of explained with cross-pollination and germination kind of stuff like that. We haven't really tested. With this community tray, it was more of a test run and stuff, so I could kind of show you guys some of the things I was talking about. Not all of these can necessarily be issues, but anybody we shared seeds with, we saved 10 different varieties we grew from our yard that came from Friend Seeds, Baker Creek Seeds, and Email Seeds, or from eBay Seeds anyways. So that's what we grew primarily in our yard. We saved 10 different varieties from there, and we also saved 6 varieties from our local market. We know a local grower down there that grows about 20 varieties, except for the Amana Orange. That was a hobby grower down in our market too that was next to there. Her Amana Orange just looked better than our friend Woody's. But anyways, this is the community tray right here. It's been exactly 2 weeks on the update for it. I wanted to show you. These were the 3 seeds that we had originally planted right here for the Black Beauty tomato that we said was our worst seeds, and it turns out that they're all working just fine. We could either separate these into 3 cups and have 3 individual plants, which is probably what's going to happen since these are so early. When we do transplant in the ground, what we do is a method that we lay the plant down, stand it up like this, and then we run a stake through the center of all 3 of them, and we can grow 3 plants kind of clustered close together if they're all the same variety. But we'll probably show that more this season coming. There's my one cough. Hopefully that's my only cough, you guys. Anyways, I wanted to make a quick video and stuff to kind of show these things. 2 of the seeds that we're kind of scared about right now mostly is the Black Cherry and the Lucid Gem. Out of the 3 and 3 seeds in both of these pods, not a single one germinated. If we send anybody out Black Cherry or Lucid Gem seeds, it doesn't mean that they're not viable. What we did is we went in and we put 4 more seeds into each one. It could be our issue. It could be soil displacement. As you can see, let me kind of find the other one. Where's the double? Do you remember that one's at?
It's the Wagner blue-green.
Okay, as you can see right here, this one doubled. So that had such bad seed displacement that the seed came out over this hole right over here. So instead of waiting to see if these ones eventually came out or if something was going wrong, we replanted. So this would be like a code red to anybody who's got Black Cherry or Lucid Gem seeds. We have 4 more in there. We only planted them 2 days ago. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the next 4. And we made sure that we paid kind of attention. When I was looking at these Lucid Gem seeds and the Black Cherry seeds, I noticed there's a little bit of a deformity on some of them. Not all of them, but some of them. So if you kind of take a look at when you plant those, that would be the issue on the germination. We have no proof on the Black Cherry or Lucid Gem. I still have high hopes. We usually have really good germination, and these seeds look fine. It's most likely a soil displacement or a pocket that got overwatered, that sort of issue right there. So everything else, we looked like we pretty much got 3 out of 3 eventually. This one right here on the Pilsner Vessi came up a little bit slower. So we thought we only had 2 on that. And then another issue that we talked about is how we garden. Since we only have 26 by 15 feet for our gardening space, what we do is we cluster garden a lot. So being that we hand pollinate, it can help make sure that you don't get as many crosses. It kind of puts the odds back into our favor a little bit, so we're not getting cross-pollination if we're personally hand pollinating the flowers right there. But with how clustered everything is with us, it kind of increases that stake altogether also. So the next issue that I wanted to talk about that we might have is the Japanese Black Trifle tomato. This tomato right here came from our yard and our saves, and we have shared seeds out with it. This might not be the only issue with the group, but it's the issue that will show itself with the group sooner. And what we got here, if you take a look, Japanese Black Trifle tomatoes are supposed to have what's called a potato leaf. I'm not sure if it refers to the shape of the leaf, but I also know most potato plants, their leaves also have that shape. So whether you're referring to the shape of the leaf or it being shaped like a potato, This is what potato leaf is right here. See how it's kind of rounded out? And the black truffle should have those. These two with the black truffle don't have them. So there is a good chance that there is a cross within the Japanese black trifle of all of the seeds that we had sent out. That cross, it was sitting next to black cherry tomatoes, it was sitting next to Ava purple ball tomatoes and Cherokee purple. A super slight chance it could have been the White Wonder, but this is what we were worried about. The way that we garden, you guys, we aren't really concerned with true to type most of the time. I mean, as far as the tomatoes and stuff that come out of our yard, but when we save things and we say we plant a seed that came from our yard that's a Trinidad Scorpion, and it somehow got crossed with an Oda, and there's some kind of weird pepper showed up in the yard hybrid, we actually really enjoy that stuff. We don't really stress that stuff too much. So when we share seeds with everybody, that's our whole goal. Our whole goal is to try to create intrigue, to save seeds that are hopefully viable, share them with friends and family. Hopefully they're true to type, they might not be, and that's our biggest fear, I guess, that I would say. So we really wanted to do this video. We wanted to be able to show, like, you know what I mean, that we're having good viability on all the kinds that we saved this year, except for the black cherry and the lucid gem. We'll take a look at those. I'll make sure that there's some kind of peek at those again coming up pretty soon. But this pocket really here seemed to stay really, really wet, and the black cherry seeds, for some reason, I think that they got planted too deep. So they might have just rotted out or whatnot. Also, when you're doing your trays, it doesn't matter in the greenhouse, things like that. It don't matter how secure you can kind of get it. If you put a shelf on a carpet or anywhere else like that, it's always leaning just a little bit. So we constantly spin our tray too. We'll spin it around the other direction every time we water it, so that the water is kind of heading to another direction. Say it's got a slight lean that way, you just can't see it. What'll end up happening is half the pockets will get wet, the other half will stay. As you can see, this is a dry pocket right here for the tomatoes. We've been using this to hit the pocket without hitting the whole tray. We'll have issues where we'll have some pockets that are just overwatered and retaining too much moisture, or where they're sitting, they're kind of collecting it all. When we get a pocket that is just simply drying out by itself, to water the whole tray might not help that pocket so much. So we just take, a lot of people have these. If you have kids, you probably have about 15 of these sitting in your kitchen drawer. They're just for dispensing medicine to children. See, we'll just water the individual pocket and kind of keep that one moist. We don't always do that. We like to bottom water, and I will actually probably sprinkle a little bit of water into the basin of this. But this is our 2-week update. We planted these on March 2nd. It is now March 16th. Pretty much 100% germination. That's why I found it weird that the black cherry and the lucid gem, they were saved in the same process. They weren't the seeds we were even worried about. So I'm guessing that it could be our issue, but just in case it isn't, anybody who's got the black cherry or the lucid gem might need to worry. Any of the other seeds, they could be crosses, because we do cluster garden. And as you can see by the black trifle, the ones that aren't potato leaves almost surely have to be a cross of some sort. They came from a black trifle tomato, but they should be having that potato leaf pattern on all of them. So that's something else to watch out for. That's what we worried about when we shared seeds and stuff. If you put a tomato in your yard and it's the black trifle, and you were really excited to see what that tomato looked like, and it ended up being like a cross, we feel like we kind of took a piece of your yard with you, or a piece of your excitement, when our only goal is to just kind of share the seeds, share the stuff that grows in our yard, and share our own personal signal. We purposely overwhelm ourselves. We have about 15 different projects we need to do. We'll probably get to 2 of them and add one of our own that has nothing to do with anything, but we love growing these things. This is our tomatoes. We're starting to ramp up. We're going to be doing our own tray pretty soon, and another tray for friends and family most likely, but looking good. I'm really super excited this year to grow with you guys. Just wanted to give you guys this warning right here and stuff. Some of these, they may be crossed. Some of them might not be as viable as we would like. So we'll keep on updating as these kind of come up and come along. You may just see plants in our stuff as we get a little bit busy and overwhelmed, just vanish. Like, so all of a sudden we gave it out to a friend, for example, because we are always jockeying for more position in our house, why we keep on ramping up and ramping up and ramping up. The way that we garden really doesn't help with cross pollination, but we're in our 5th year here. So our first year here we didn't do nearly as much seed saving. Our second year ramped up a little bit. Our third year ramped up even more. When we hit our 4th year here, which was the last year, it jumped up like 5 to 10 times what it was previous to that, already ramping up. So it was astronomically great for us. We got overwhelmed with different varieties, and we are super excited. So here's the community tray 2 weeks later, and we love you guys. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.